During Thursday's morning edition of GB News, host Stephen Dixon reacted with confusion to an international news story, labeling it nonsense and said get a grip. GB News host Stephen Dixon has expressed what a load of nonsense as Finland was named the world's happiest country for an 8th year. According to the United Nations and their new global report, the Nordic country topped the rankings and was closely followed by Denmark, Iceland, and Sweden. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom was positioned at number 23 and reported its lowest average life evaluation since 2017. Reacting to the news, Stephen quipped, "How do you work out who is happiest?" To which fellow co-host Ellie Costello replied, "You have to go round and you have to say, 'Are you happy?' What's how I think it works." This prompted Stephen to say, "Is that it? I just think it's nonsense. The United Nations World Happiest Index? Get a grip." The rankings were based on answers people gave when asked to rate their own lives. The study was published by the Wellbeing Research Centre at the University of Oxford and was done in partnership with the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network and the analytics firm Gallup. Based on an analysis of how the citizens of over 140 countries rate their quality of life, a score of 10 means someone lives the best possible life they can imagine in that country. Finns came in first place with an average score of 7.74. Speaking to Fortune, Jan-Emmanuel Deneve, professor of economics at the University of Oxford, said, "They're wealthy, they're healthy, have social connections, social support, and a connection with nature. They're not happy, joyful, dancing in the streets type people, but they're very content with their lives." Mexico, number 10, and Costa Rica, number 6, were added in the top 10 for the first time in the list's history. Meanwhile, the USA dropped to number 24, its lowest ever ranking since 2012. In these Nordic Scandinavian countries, a rising tide lifts all boats, so the levels of economic inequality are much less, and that reflects in well-being as well, Deneve added. In Finland, most people will rate themselves as 7 or an 8, whereas if you look at the distribution of well-being in the States, there's a lot of 10s out there, but there's a lot of 1s as well.